New at noon, almost 30 years of DNA analysis from an analyst at CBI is now under question. An internal investigation found Yvonne Missy Woods manipulated data and posted incomplete test results in criminal cases.
A forensic scientist who worked on multiple high-profile cases, like Kobe Bryant's sexual assault investigation, could be forcing thousands of retrials.
So in Colorado, thousands of criminal convictions for major felonies could be overturned because of the work of this one DNA tech. Let's talk about it. So now when we talk about DNA, that is the gold standard of evidence. If you have DNA evidence to show someone did something, they are likely going to jail. Matter of fact, the only person I know to have beaten DNA evidence is O.J. Simpson. So in our society, crime labs have a lot of power to determine if someone's going to jail or not. But now in Colorado, the top DNA analyst in the state, who's been there for over 29 years, is the one who is alleged to have been cutting corners to get quick convictions. So the DNA tech that we're talking about is Yvonne Missy Woods. Now, she has handled some really high profile cases. One that you may have heard of is, remember when NBA star Kobe Bryant was arrested for sexual assault in Colorado? Well, Yvonne Missy Woods is the DNA tech who handled that particular case. She was the one who identified Kobe Bryant's DNA at the scene. Now, Kobe Bryant's accuser refused to cooperate with authorities, and the charges were eventually dropped.
The sports world. Less than a week before Kobe Bryant was to stand trial for sexual assault, the charges against him have been dismissed. In a stunning development, prosecutors decided to drop the case, not because they wanted to, but because they had no choice.
The prosecution team wants to try this case. I want to try this case. And I have evidence heard by 12 citizens of this community. However, the victim has informed us, after much of her own labored deliberation, that she does not want to proceed with this trial. And for this reason, and this reason only, I am dismissing this case.
Now, neither Bryant or his accuser were in the courtroom today, and the judge threw out the case under a deal that means no charges will be refiled. Had he been convicted, Bryant could have faced 4 years to life in prison or 20 years to life on probation and a fine up to $750,000.
Now, Yvonne Missy Woods is a 29-year veteran of the state's crime lab. She's considered one of the best and most trusted DNA analysts in the country. Her work has essentially never been questioned. Now, the state of Colorado started random audits of the crime lab's work because of some other high-profile cases in which crime lab techs were found to be manipulating data to secure convictions.
State Supreme Court justice has thrown out more than 100 drug convictions connected to a former state chemist. Thousands of convictions have already been tossed after Annie Dukin pleaded guilty in 2013 to tampering with drug samples from criminal investigations. District Attorney Rachel Rollins asked for this latest round of convictions to be tossed back in November. She says 70% of them involve people of color.
Now, I'm going to fast forward to November 6, 2023, where district attorneys all over the state of Colorado were notified that there were problems with the state crime lab. After a routine audit, the crime lab found some anomalies in some of the DNA evidence.
Sure, we were first notified, we being the elected district attorneys here in Colorado, that they had, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation had identified these anomalies in this forensic scientist's work. We were first notified on November 6th of 2023. And of course, our first thought was, she has worked on thousands upon thousands of cases in Colorado. What's the scope of this? What's the impact going to be on our pending cases and past cases that we've obtained convictions in?
I mean, have you ever seen something like this before? How shocking and wide-reaching is this?
This is beyond anything that I think any of us have ever seen.
In a letter to district attorneys on Monday, the current director of CBI told them the agency might have information about Woods that could affect her credibility in court. According to the letter, there were anomalies in her work. The director wrote CBI is not only compiling a list of cases Woods may have worked on, but also finalizing plans to prioritize and retest cases.
Now, after the news came out that this DNA tech was possibly manipulating data, jeopardizing cases, defense attorneys started filing lawsuits to get their clients out of prison.
Yvonne Missy Woods. She was the lead scientist in charge of analyzing DNA for the trial.
Well, I think that was the reason he was convicted. because they're saying there was DNA evidence putting him at the crime scene.
Missy Woods in Hunter's case is now under investigation. Days before filing the lawsuit, Burden learned CBI found anomalies in her work.
It gave us more impetus and it validated our suspicions.
A court dismissed Hunter's case initially, the lawsuit says, after Woods incorrectly identified the victim's hairs as Hunter's. 10 months after the crime, new evidence of hair surfaced.
What led to a conviction was a hair follicle that was given to CBI somehow.
The lawsuit is demanding for all biological evidence to be handed over so it can be retested.
And my other question is how many other people are in prison based on irregular evidence.
So now, after an initial review by the state, it says that evidence in about 3,000 cases may need to be retested at a cost of $7 million to taxpayers.
The CBI now estimating about 3,000 cases are going to need retesting. All this after learning about anomalies surrounding one investigator who'd worked with the Bureau for 29 years. The retesting could end up costing the state millions of dollars. It's Missy Woods that is under criminal investigation after someone found these so-called anomalies in her work. She is no longer an employee of the Bureau. CBI thinks about 3,000 cases are going to need to be retested by a third-party lab.
Now, you have to remember that Missy was actively working on cases when this all popped up. So current murder cases like this triple homicide had to be postponed because someone had to go over the evidence again because Missy Wood was the lead analyst.
Yeah, guys, the trial was supposed to start in April. Now it's scheduled for August because defense wants to retest that evidence. That's going to take some time. Today's hearing is the most detailed conversation we have heard so far in open court about Missy Woods. This triple homicide case is a retrial. Garrett Coughlin was 24 years old when he was arrested in 2017 for the shooting and killing of 3 people in Cold Creek Canyon. Wallace White, his wife Kelly Sloat White, and Wallace's brother Emery Fraker. His guilty verdict was tossed out because of misconduct by 2 jurors. Court documents say during that investigation into Missy Woods late last year, prosecutors learned there were anomalies in her work on this case. A judge today said in that hearing a CBI rep was retesting that evidence.
So let's fast forward a couple of months. Now the state has completed its preliminary review and has identified 652 cases so far, which may be in jeopardy because of this DNA text manipulation of the data. Now, I know we've been saying there's been anomalies, we found anomalies, but now the state is going to define what anomalies were found in the data.
4 months ago, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation announced that they had discovered anomalies in her work. What that meant, we just learned more about today. So today there was a release by the internal investigation into this matter where they announced that she had deleted data, manipulated data, and tampered with evidence in an effort to cut corners. What I would highlight for your viewers, though, is that they remain steadfast that she neither manipulated nor produced any false results.
Now, on top of all that, there is another DNA tech who also has similar issues in Colorado. Check it out.
Are you concerned that this could be happening in any other states, or does this seem like a one-off, very bizarre case to you?
It's not a one-off because we've already identified one other scientist in the northern Colorado area who had, certainly not to this scope, but also had some other anomalies in her work as well. So we have some real digging that we need to do in the state of Colorado for sure.
All right, so let me know how you feel in this comment section because this woman's been working here for almost 30 years, thousands of cases, thousands of defendants, and now it seems to all be upended. And does this put a spotlight on our over-reliance on DNA evidence? Because don't forget, those crime labs can say whatever they want. And we essentially as a society have believed them because we believe in the process. But now we know that process can be manipulated in a way that sends people to jail for crimes they didn't commit. So let me know what you feel in the comment section. Let me know what you think should happen to this tech. Because I think if she sent people to jail for years of their lives, then no less she should get years of her life in prison too. But that may be too harsh. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. Like always, my name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.